Hello everyone, here we are. Do you know which place is this in the world? So if you've been following my channel at Rio EnCantos Experiences, then you know that we are in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And today I'm be showing you a virtual tour live streamed directly from the second most visited attraction in the city, and it is the, can you tell? Check it out. All of these people gathering here on the top of this mountain, and down there a cable that takes you on a gondola to the Urca Hill. Can you tell already where we are? With this beautiful landscape of the Yacht Club, the Botafogo Beach and neighborhoods, and the famous beach of Copacabana down there in what we call the South Zone. And if you're thinking what I'm gonna tell, you know that we took the gondola down there in Praia Vermelha, or the Red Beach, and we came on the gondola directly to the Urca Hill at the famous Sugarloaf Mountain. So I invite you, please come with me on this trip, on this virtual trip in the Sugarloaf Mountain, where we will take the gondola and we will ride the gondola together for nice shots and beautiful views of Rio de Janeiro in South America. All right, let's go. Let's go. Take your pictures. So we are on the top of the Sugarloaf Mountain, the third station that we come from the Praia Vermelha, or the Red Beach. Now, arriving here, we have to go on two other stops. And now we are going down to the stop of Urca Hill. Here, when you come, this is autumn in Rio de Janeiro, and you have long lines, but if you are a guide, a tour guide, and if you come with a tour guide, you embark and you board on the priority pass with your guide right here. Now, all of these people are getting on board, and when you have your digital ticket, you just scan it here and smile. Muito obrigada, viu? Muito obrigada. What did I say in Portuguese? I said thank you in Portuguese. And yes, here in Brazil, we speak Portuguese. We do not speak Spanish, as many people misunderstand. And there is a reason for that misunderstanding that I can tell you in case you have this question. Just please remember to follow the channel and put up your comments, expressions, impressions, and questions in the message box. Now look down there on that lush scenery. Part of the beautiful Tijuca forest is coming our gondola, where we will board in a few minutes. Now I have a second question for you, and all of these questions I will be posing there and answering little by little as I come back again to run more tours for you live streamed. The gondola that is coming took a few minutes to come up here. And how many minutes can board at once in the gondola? How many people? How many minutes does it take to come up here and down there? What's its speed? These are questions that I'm going to answer you as we go up and down. So, but now we are going on board. People are onboarding there. Please watch out your steps when boarding. So the Sugarloaf Mountain is the second most visited attraction in Rio de Janeiro. And Rio de Janeiro stands out for its touristic potential, attracting people from all over Brazil and all over the world. From here, you can visit famous beaches, beautiful white sandy beaches. You have many blue skies throughout the day, and even in the autumn, we have a temperature like we're having today of 75 Fahrenheit, around 25 centigrades. It's gonna be very in today. Let's go on board. Come on board, and for you, all of you afraid of heights, we recommend that you stay in the middle of the gondola, surrounded by people. But if not, if you like more emotions, we recommend you go straight to the front of the gondola, where we are gonna try to get now. Bom? Oi, oi, bom dia, obrigada. Posso botar a câmera aqui? Oh, valeu, que assim eu pego a vista melhor. Muito obrigada, viu?
Sí, bonito. Amigo, ¿estás en vivo?
So this, yeah, uh-huh. So I will show. Are you enjoying? Hola, ¿dónde eres? Argentina. ¿Está con los amigos? Sí. Ah, qué bueno. Todo es de Argentina. Yo soy una guía de turismo acá y hago también los live stream. Sí, en on YouTube. ¿Ustedes están disfrutando? ¿Cómo? Ah, qué bueno, Rio EnCantos. ¿Ustedes están disfrutando del el viaje en Río?
Sí, es hermoso.
Ah, qué buenísimo. Ah, qué bueno, qué bueno. Entonces yo también, yo vivo acá, pero estoy constantemente disfrutando todos los días. A todos los paisajes, la fiesta, la gente. ¿Cómo?
Una ciudad preciosa.
Ah, sí, gracias, muchas gracias. Es nuestra. Bienvenido. Entonces, acá estamos en la góndola, que llamamos también en portugués bondinho. And there is a reason why we call it bondinho. And remember, yo puedo también hacer este live stream en español. Si los seguidores de la gente me pide, yo puedo hacerlo una transmisión todo en español también. So for those of you who likes Spanish, we can do the transmission also in Spanish. And every time we come, we'll have different people, different experiences, and different weathers. So it's never the same. We are looking forward for you. People are excited for the ride. And please, count on your timers. How long will we take on our ride? There we go. Now we are going to the Uca Hill, which is 220 meters tall. And there's the other bondinho coming. Where does the word bondinho comes from? Ah, I will also let you know about that. And why the Sugarloaf Mountain is called the Sugarloaf? And what's the meaning of the word Rio de Janeiro? All of these questions you will receive when you come here on a tour live with me or on our live streams. Today, maybe I will share some of these answers with you. Stick with me throughout the ride. And in case our signal drops, don't worry, it's because we are reconnecting to the Wi-Fi of the Sugarloaf Mountain, and it stays just 1 minute or even less. For the most part, the quality of the transmission is pretty good. Here we are. In about 2 minutes and a half, 5 minutes, or 3 minutes, we did the ride. If you answered 2 minutes and a half, you were right. Ciao, ciao. Adios, adios. Now people are lining up there to board on the gondola of Bondinho. Oi, pessoal. Olá, oi. Família. And now we will on board from this side. So people say, Take your time. It's balancing one side to the other and mind the gap. You see beautiful art everywhere in the city. If you also can like street art, you can check other videos in my channel for street art tours in town, either in the Little Africa, in Santa Teresa, or the historic city center. Here in the Sugarloaf, in the Urca Hill, we have also a museum with all the materials that were used in when they founded the stations of the Sugarloaf. We have this green path here, which you can make a hike on the rainforest, or we will take the steps to show you the beautiful views can be seen from this part of the Urca Hill. You can take nice shots here. You have many facilities. You have access for people with disabilities using these lifts, which is something fun that we can do together. Let's go. When you come here, it's pretty easy to use. When you close the door, you just use these thing here up and keep pulling up. So you ride your own ride up to the next level. And you can see the view of the Sugarloaf that where we were there a few minutes ago. Every car from the gondola departs with about 68 people. Now you have a restaurant up here where you can have coconut water, drinks. You have shops where you can buy souvenirs. And you have what people like, the views from the Urca Hill, which from here you can see the Sugarloaf Mountain there where we were. And why is it called the Sugarloaf Mountain? So look at this pointed hill close to the Guanabara Bay. This pointed hill has the same shape of the molds of sugar that were used to export sugar lumps from Brazil to all over the world. And let's remember that the sugar and salt, the spices, were like gold, were like the cocoa beans, were like the coffee beans. They were items very precious and expensive in different times throughout our history. And because there weren't enough currencies, they were used as exchange currencies in the colony for centuries. So the sugar loaf has the same shape of the sugar molds used to putting the sugar, pouring the sugar and exporting to different places. When the Portuguese saw that shape, they named it after the mold, sugar loaf or pão de açúcar. Now, let's go. Let's see more views following here. To the left, it is now 11:05 a.m. and we have a view to the south side and the city center. Now, before I show and explore you more the view that we can see here, I have a question for you. Who were the first people who actually opened up the path to build up the bondinho of Pão de Açúcar Hill here? So how did they put up the things to the station there, to the third station, and here to the sugar loaf? Who were these incredible people who were the pioneers to open the paths to build up the first structures for the gondola? All right. Look at that. I'm going to give you the answer. And the answer is right there. Look at this man. What is he doing there? And he is with another man. Oh, jumping on the tree. Where is it? There you go. Sorry about that. The camera went crazy with the heat. Sometimes he goes if I have any food for him. Can you see? Can you spot the monkey? There he is, always chasing food. But one thing that I always say, do not feed the animals because animals, they are seed spreaders, they're like the agricultures, the farmers of the forest. But for being the farmers of the forest, they need to eat the fruit of the forest, and then they poop those fruits. They throw and spread the seeds of those fruits. And spreading the seeds, they help to replant the forest. Here, really excited to see the monkey. They're all down there. Some of them, unfortunately, feed them with things that are harmful, and they can also be bitten by them. So people sometimes give them cookies and ruffles and fries, things that are really harmful for their tummies. So we do not recommend you do that. Just please let them chase and hunt for their own food. All right. Now let's go back to the mountain climber. A lot of things, exciting things going on today. And here are the guys, mountain climbers, and they have the answer. They're there with their family, pulling up ropes, opening paths or following paths. There are hundreds of paths to come up the Urca Hill. Olá, moço, bom dia. Estou aqui numa transmissão para o meu canal. Quem foram os primeiros que abriram os caminhos para fazer as estações do Pão de Açúcar? Quem foram os primeiros a abrir os caminhos? Foram os montanhistas. Os escaladores que primeiro botaram os grampos e subiram para trazer o material. Então por causa disso é uma homenagem para vocês. Estou aqui mostrando. Obrigada, viu? So I asked him who were the people who first opened up the paths to bring up and build up the stations of the Sugarloaf Mountain in the 1912 in Morro da Urca and Sugarloaf Mountain. And I told him that it was the mountain climbers. They were hired to hike the forest, to open the paths, and then to make the grips on the rocks and pull up the ropes, create first structures, and with pullings, pull up all the materials necessary to build up that construction. And I'm going to tell you who were like the great inspirers of building up a gondola station on the top of these hills. So from here, you'll be able to see on your trip the beach of Botafogo, which is on this calm bay with a yacht club, the beach of Flamengo, and there on the back, the skyscrapers of the historic and modern city center and the Santos Dumont Airport right here, which is our domestic flights airport. Now let's keep our walk on this while you see these beautiful views of the Sugarloaf. People like to come here, take these pictures, romantic. It's a nice romantic ride up here. And here you can have on these shops, you can buy souvenirs, flip-flops, and also tees from our most famous soccer team, Flamengo. Now we are going down to see different views of the Sugarloaf. While we are doing this tour, I also tell you about the nature that we see, the fauna and flora, and if you're lucky, we see other species of animals as well. Now down here, we have a view to the Urca neighborhood. It's a man-made neighborhood. Most of it were fillings, and it's a nice place where there is also a yacht club, as you can see from the many boats down here. And it's a place where people take a walk around the shore to see the sunset. Always here from also Sugarloaf Mountain, people come to see the sunset. Beautiful views to the Guanabara Bay, and nice restaurants around the shore in a very nice, pleasant neighborhood where you can take a walk at. On the other side, here, you see the Niterói city connected with Rio de Janeiro by the Rio Niterói Bridge. Today is a busy day. It's not the highest season in Rio anymore because usually it is on summer when we host and we have the New Year's Eve parties in the Copacabana beach with the fireworks, where we have the carnival and sunny days with hot days. Now, even though it's not summer, we are having a pretty busy season on autumn, and actually the weather is even is more pleasant than during the summer because the temperatures are a little bit lower, not 100 Fahrenheit, not 42 centigrades every day, but actually a nice weather of 25, 26, reaching all the way up to 30 centigrades. People are really excited. There is a chilly wind, and new views to the bay are revealing itself. Now there is something going on here under those clouds. Look at that. From this cloudy viewpoint here, there is the mountain range of the Tijuca National Park and the Carioca sector. But underneath and in between these clouds, something's popping out and showing up. Can you tell what is that? I'm going to give you a tip. On the top of that pointed hill, the cloud revealing and unveiling the first most visited attraction of Rio de Janeiro, which is on the top of 710 meters tall mountain of Corcovado and the statue of the Christ Redeemer. Yes, there you go. There is the famous statue of the Christ Redeemer that you can see from here on the top. Soon the clouds will cover or uncover. Let's see. And these beautiful landscapes around, with other views to Botafogo Beach, is where, in this part of the city, the foundations of the colonial city by the Portuguese took place. In 1565, the foundation of the city that was named after a river by the time when the Portuguese nominated it. Well, you see those calm waters of Botafogo and Flamengo Beach. So when the Portuguese arrived here, they thought that these calm waters were actually part of a river. They had no idea that this was actually part of the beaches of the Atlantic Ocean. And they arrived in January saying that this was the real river of January, Rio de Janeiro. But before their arrival, and during their arrival as well, there were many indigenous people living and occupying the country. Here were inhabited by many indigenous people of the Tupi-Guarani language and the Tupinambás and Tamoyos tribes. They were living in this part all over Brazil as well, speaking different languages. And when you come to this tour, I talk more and you learn even more about this history of our indigenous people, our people of African descendants, and our people with European descendants, and a mix that makes us Brazilians as we are, with a majority of African descendancy. Here, when you come up, you can have access to drinks, sweets, jewelries, nice people that you can connect with, and venues where you can also go to a performance and enjoy a show in special dates and events. Also, when you come, you can talk to me. I can arrange a tour for you and your family in Rio de Janeiro, taking you to not only Sugarloaf and Christ Redeemer, but to different places where you can connect with real people, real. So I highly recommend you spend at least 1 week in Rio de Janeiro in order to go to the parties, to the celebrations, to the street markets, to connect with locals, dance, eat, and come in a slower pace. Now here is the helipad. The popular helipad where people take their flights of 12, 15, 30 minutes in different places, such as to see the Tijuca forest, the different beaches, or to fly around the mountain of Corcovado. Let's keep going. I hope you are enjoying the experience here. Now, can you imagine taking this trip live in such a beautiful place in tropical country? Or have you already been to Rio de Janeiro and Brazil? How was it for you? If you really liked it, please pull up your comments and put your comments here on the message, and follow me at Rio EnCantos, also on Instagram and social media. Here we are at the place where we tell the history of the invention, the creation of the bondinhos, where we talk about the people who imagined and who were really groundbreaking on establishing one of the most visited attractions. How the cars and the trams changed throughout time. Who were the people involved? Ah, hello! Hello, tudo bom? So these were students really excited to be in the Sugarloaf Mountain, and I will tell you how the name Bondinho was created. I hope you enjoyed the ride with me here to the Sugarloaf Mountain. We are finishing our virtual live stream tour now. My name is Kelly Tavares. Thank you so much. Keep following me and see you on the next tours. Bye bye. Welcome on board and have a nice ride. Safe travels with us.